Hey, what's up, everybody? It's J Rock right here, hitting you with another comic book review. Today, we're going to be reviewing Alien Rogue. It's a 3-issue miniseries. So, if you like comic related content, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button. That will keep you updated on some of my future videos. Okay, so this was written back in 1993 by Ian Edginton, and artwork is by Will Simpson. Okay, so this starts off with this madman named Kleist. He kind of created this little island in space, if you will, and he's hired some space marines. So immediately we get introduced to him, and then we get introduced to these pilots that are space marines also, Deegan and Joyce. So they're the two pilots, and then we get introduced to this other guy that's like some type of spy. His name is Cray. So these are all right away in the first few pages. You get introduced to all the main players that are gonna be the main characters in the story. So these space marines, they're sent to capture these aliens, but they want to capture them alive. And along with these space marines, there's a few corporate soldiers that work for this guy named Kleist. So while they're catching these aliens, shit goes sideways. A few space marines get killed. Actually, I think just one space marine gets killed, and the space marines kill one of the aliens. So obviously this guy Kleist is pissed because he wants them alive. They killed one and they brought back one alive. Once they come back, he's pissed off that they killed one of the aliens, and the Marines are pissed off. It's like, hey, we just lost some men here, and you're mad about the alien dying? We were fighting for our lives. So one of these Marines, rightfully so, slugs one of these corporate soldiers in the face. They're getting into it because they're angry about they lost one of their people, and the scientist, the corporation is angry. They lost one of their specimens, one of the aliens. So while all this is happening, you see these two pilots, Joyce and Deegan, landing on this space island, basically, right? This stationary place they have going on. So they're landing there. They're bringing off some cargo. So now we go back to the Marines here. As you could tell, tensions were high. They failed the mission. Things went wrong. People were fighting. Lives were lost. All kinds of hell broke loose, right? So this one of the Marines is Slug, this corporate soldier guy. He just, everybody's kind of chilling down already. Things are dying down. The emotions, everything's been cleared down. It's becoming nighttime. He's about to, call it a day. This guy comes back, and the weapon they used to capture the aliens, it shoots out nets. He uses that weapon to shoot it at the soldier or punching him in the face, is what I originally thought. It's like, yeah, because you punch him in the face, he wants revenge. But no, it was Mr. Kleist send them. He sent them. He goes, yeah, Kleist sent me to get rid of you because you killed one of the aliens. He doesn't like when people kill one of the bugs, what he calls them, because they're very important. We need them for research. So you screwed up. Grabs the alien, grabs the Marine, drags them with that net, tosses them in this room where they have all kinds of aliens there. And you see the aliens just come out, grab him, and drag him in. He's kicking and screaming. The artwork here, this panel is crazy. It really makes you feel for the character. You're like, oh shit, he's fucked, right? You see it right here. They're dragging him in. He's dead. That's it. That's the last you're gonna see of him. I could just picture this on the screen, on the TV screen or a big screen. This would have been a nice scene on an alien movie or something. So once this happens, clearly this guy Kleist values these aliens more than he values human life, or at least more than he values the Marines. Because when you see how much corporate soldiers he has, you're like, he has so many of them. Why does he even need the Space Marines? So that's where you start asking yourself these questions. You're like, like, he has so many of these guys. Why does he need the Space Marines? We come back to Mr. Kleist, and he's talking to Cray. He's talking to Cray, and he's telling him, come, let me show you something. He takes him to these rooms where you see all these human specimens with face huggers. If you're not familiar with aliens, face huggers are little aliens that they put themselves on a host, on a human being, on their face, or it can be an animal too, or other creatures, and they lay eggs in their mouth. And so the body becomes like a cocoon kind of for the eggs, keep them warm, and then they're born out of the chest of they bust out of the bodies basically after. So here there's a bunch of bodies, a bunch of human bodies nonetheless. Human bodies with face huggers on them in these tubes. But I'm trying to reproduce new aliens, hybrids of like human and alien, and then he's trying to make hybrids of like aliens with sheep and lamb, other less vicious animals. So he's trying to play God here. He's trying to create like new species and so forth. And that was a crazy scene here. It's very gruesome. When you saw this, it was cringy. It was cringy. And he's telling Cray all this stuff, like his plans. He's like, we're trying to find a way to create new aliens that will somehow listen. Maybe like if they could be like a dog that you could train them to listen and so forth. And he shows them a few aliens that he found a way to control them with a whistle, a special whistle. He goes, we're kind of halfway there. I kind of taught these not to attack me when I use this whistle. So he has all kinds of crazy shit going up upstairs, all kinds of crazy ideas going on in his head, and it's all bad. None of them are good. They're all, they're all basically because he wants to create some type of trained weapons for the military and so forth. While Dr. Kleist is showing all this to Cray, one of the Marines, the sergeant, I believe, he shows up looking for Kleist because he finds out, like, he's pissed off. He's like, what the hell? What did you do with one of my soldiers? He's missing. He goes, after he killed your freaking alien, now he's missing. He goes, you did something to him. So he's pissed off. Kleist's bodyguard, she gets in the way, stops him. So he slugs her and they start going at it. She's like this martial artist, so she wins that fight. And Kleist shows up and he goes, what are you so angry about? What you do to my soldier? He's dead already. It was a casualty. Get over it. He tells them, if you guys have a problem with that, that's fine. I'm going to just send all you Marines back to Earth. You guys are all gone. I'm sending you back to Earth. You guys are annoying. You're in my way. You ask too many questions. So he promises to send them back to Earth. But not knowing this was a one-way trip to space. You ain't going back to Earth. When he puts them on this plane, he sends them to an area where that's infested with aliens. So once the Marines find out, they're like, "Oh shit, he's not sending us. The route is wrong. He's sending us somewhere else. Our coordinates are all off. They're not correct." So he tells his men, "Strap on your suits, get the weapons, cause we ain't going back home. He's sending us to the aliens. So we're not going down without a fight." So shit just goes off the rails here. They're in this place. They're shooting down these aliens. They're fighting for their lives. And well, this Kleist guy immediately, he's no good. His whole plan for these Marines the whole time, he never needed them. He had all these corporate soldiers that could do all the same stuff. He had them really here so that he could be using them as human specimens. So he could use them as kind of like guinea pigs to experiment mixing them with aliens and so forth, which explain all the bodies that they were on that room that he was showing Craig. So you're like, oh, that's what all those bodies are. They're all other Marines. He really brought them here just, they were on a one-way trip. There were never plans for them to ever go back. He was using them to experiment and mix them with the aliens. So Joyce, one of the Marine pilot, she finds out about this. She starts explaining it to Craig once he comes back. She said, look, you're kind of like a Marine like us. He's like, I'm a spy. She goes, okay, same thing. You're not one of them is the point. She explains to him what's happening. She goes, I figured out other Marines are disappearing because he's experimenting on them. He does not value human life. He's a mad scientist. He cares more about his work, no matter what the cost, right? So this story does a great job making you feel like this Kleist character, this mad scientist, he's just a piece of shit. Like, look what he's doing with our U.S. Marines. He's using them just like to play with them and toss them to the wolves, basically, to the aliens. And he finds the aliens so interesting and intriguing, and he does anything to protect them. It's like he's very despicable. You just don't like this character, and they do a great job of making him come off as mad, like just not there in his, mentally. So while Joyce was explaining everything to Cray, they have cameras everywhere because this Kleist's character. He doesn't trust anybody. He wants to kind of like a control freak. He needs to know everything. So he hears this conversation they're having because now we got to get rid of them. So they raid the spot. He sends a bunch of soldiers there. This Craig character, actually, he got some skills. He can fight. Fought off a few of them, but there's tons of them. He wasn't going to win. So they subdue him. And once you find him later in a later page, he's tied up. And they're explaining everything to him of why they're doing what they're doing. Okay, so now Joyce is on her own because Cray has been captured. And she's looking to go back and save him. So luckily she's not alone because you thought she's alone, and out of nowhere, very conveniently, the Marine Sergeant, the captain of the squad, he shows up and he's back from where they left him with all those aliens to die. The rest of his platoon did not make it. They all got killed, but he got away. And he shows up here right in time to help Joyce. So together they're going to go they go separate ways, but towards the same mission. One's looking for Kleist, and she's going to look for Cray to save him. While this is going down, they created this new alien, this rogue alien. That's why the book is called Rogue. This is a big alien. It's called a king alien because they have the queen aliens that produce eggs to create more aliens. This one is called the king alien, and he's huge. So he escapes, and he's going around just destroying all other aliens. Kleist is so excited. He's like, how wonderful. This new alien escaped and he's killing all the aliens. He's basically committing genocide. Aliens are no longer going to exist because he's killing all of them, right? So he's like, yes, once he kills all of them, the only aliens that will be alive are the new ones I'm creating. So only the new species will exist. The old species will be gone. So he finds that as kind of a blessing in disguise. He's excited about it. So now that Joyce has saved Cray, they go back and look for Deegan, her co-pilot. So they find him in his room, tell him, hey, shit just hit the fan. Everything's going down. Like, we got to get the hell out of Dodge. So he's like, let me just grab my stuff. So now this becomes a story of let's make it to the ship before the whole island explodes or whatever, right? Before everything gets destroyed, let's fly out of here. So they gotta make it there with all these aliens and corporate stooges and so forth in their way. So as they're going through this journey, they start running out of ammo. So right when they're running out of ammo, Cray says, I don't have too much ammo left. Right in the nick of time, boom, the Marine captain or sergeant or whatever, he shows up. So once he shows up just in time, and he's like, I got some extra guns. He hands Cray one. That was pretty cool. So he's that character that's a typical trope in your horror movies and so forth, where he always just pops up at the convenient time all the time, right? So he shows up, and now it's a gang of four, and they're trying to make it to the ship. And that's basically the end of the story. You have some other stuff in between, fightings with aliens and so forth, but that's the gist of it right there. I thought this was a nice story, the typical horror story, the mad scientist here, he was off the rails. They did a real good job with him. The one thing I didn't like is that all the main characters made it to the end. None died, which usually in these type of stories, you start off with 5 or 6 characters and they slowly get picked off one by one, having only 1 or 2 of them survive to the end. Here you had all of them make it to the end. None died, which was kind of, it was okay. It didn't ruin the story, but I would have liked for 1 or 2 to die because it adds to it. Like you're kind of guessing which ones are gonna go. So that always, it's always kind of fun for me at least to kind of guess which one's gonna make it, which one's not gonna make it, because like only half the group is. And here all of them there was no casualties as far as your main characters. Yeah, so all in all, as far as alien stories go, this was a solid one. This was real good. I give it somewhere, if I had to grade it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it somewhere around an 8.5. Thought it was real good. The dialogue was good. The art was good. The writing, Ian Edginton, I think he did a good job. This was real strong. The writing was probably my favorite. I did like the art and the coloring as well, but I think the writing was my favorite. All in all, worth the read, guys. Check it out. Although if you've seen this video, probably already know the whole story because I just told it to you. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I really like to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day check out this video. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And I'll just check you guys out next time.